You know what's crazy? The average American spends more time waiting in fast food lines than they do exercising each week. Yeah, I'm serious. We'll literally sit in our cars for 45 minutes just to get a burger that takes 3 minutes to eat. But here's the real kicker. We know it's not good for us. We know there are better options. Yet somehow, 84 million of us still hit up a fast food joint every single day. That's not just a habit. That's a full-blown national obsession. I'm not here to shame anybody, trust me, I've demolished my fair share of value meals at 1 a.m. But I started wondering, how did we get here? What is it about these greasy paper bags that has such a death grip on American culture? The answer is way more fascinating and honestly way more messed up than I ever expected, so let's rewind the clock. Fast food as we know it today kicked off around the 1950s. McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, all these giants were just getting started. But what's wild is how perfectly they showed up at the exact right moment in American history. See, after World War II, America was changing fast. Suddenly, everyone had cars, suburbs were popping up everywhere, and women were entering the workforce in record numbers. Families were constantly on the move with less time to cook those traditional home meals. Fast food slid into American life like, hey, I see you're busy, need a cheap, quick solution? And we collectively went, hell yeah, we do! But here's where it gets interesting. These weren't just restaurants, they were scientific operations. Take Ray Kroc, the guy who turned McDonald's into a global empire. He didn't just sell burgers, he sold a system. Every McDonald's burger had to taste exactly the same whether you got it in California or New York. The fries had to be precisely 9/32 of an inch thick. I'm not making this up, they literally had measuring tools. This consistency was revolutionary. In a rapidly changing world, Americans found comfort in knowing exactly what they were getting every single time. It's kinda like how we all have that one friend who always orders the exact same thing no matter where they go, except that friend is an entire country. But there's something way deeper going on here, something that explains why fast food has such a powerful hold on us, and it all comes down to 3 things: convenience, cost, and this one's gonna sound weird, nostalgia. Let's talk convenience first, because it's a bigger deal than you might think. Americans work more hours than people in almost any other developed nation. We're talking 47 hours a week on average, with many putting in 50, 60, even 70 hours. When you're grinding that hard, cooking becomes another job. Fast food solved this problem brilliantly. Drive-thru windows first appeared in the 1950s but really took off in the 1970s. Suddenly you didn't even have to park your car to get food. Just roll up, order through a speaker that works maybe 60% of the time, and boom, dinner is handled in minutes. And the apps? Game changer. DoorDash, Uber Eats, and the restaurant's own apps mean you don't even have to leave your couch anymore. You can literally be horizontal, half asleep, order with your thumb, and have a chalupa supreme at your door faster than you can say, I should really learn to cook. But the convenience goes beyond just saving time. It's about eliminating decisions. After making 1,000 choices at work all day, sometimes the human brain just cannot handle deciding what's for dinner. Fast food menus are limited by design. They give us just enough options to feel like we have a choice without overwhelming us. Look at how the apps are designed now. They remember your previous orders, they suggest combos, they literally make the decision-making process as brain-dead simple as possible. And our exhausted brains are like, thank God someone else is taking the wheel on this one. Then there's the cost factor, and this is where things get a little dark. Fast food is cheap by design. The entire business model depends on keeping prices low enough that it seems like a no-brainer compared to grocery shopping and cooking. The dollar menu? Pure marketing genius. Who can resist the dopamine hit of getting an entire cheeseburger for a single $1? But here's the crazy part. This artificial affordability has completely warped our perception of what food should cost. The real price of that dollar burger is hidden. It's paid by workers making minimum wage, by factory-farmed animals, by the environment, and ultimately by our healthcare system. I'm not trying to be a downer, but it's kind of wild to think that we've built a food system where the cheapest options are often the least nutritious. In many low-income neighborhoods, fast food restaurants outnumber grocery stores by a ridiculous margin. These become food deserts, where grabbing a McDouble is literally easier than finding fresh vegetables. The average American spends about 10% of their income on food, which is actually the lowest percentage in the world. In France, it's closer to 14%. In Kenya, it's over 40%. We expect our food to be dirt cheap, and fast food delivers on that expectation. But the affordability is also reinforced by our senses. Studies have shown that fast food is literally engineered to hit what scientists call the bliss point, that perfect combination of salt, sugar, and fat that makes our brains go absolutely haywire with pleasure. We're talking about food designed in laboratories to be as addictive as possible. This isn't just a burger, it's a carefully calibrated dose of flavors designed to make you crave more. The ratio of meat to cheese to sauce to pickle, none of it is random. It's all been tested thousands of times to hit that perfect note that keeps you coming back. But the most interesting part of our fast food obsession isn't about convenience or price. It's about something much more emotional: nostalgia. For most Americans, fast food is tied to memories. Maybe it was Friday night treats when you were a kid, maybe it was late night runs after parties in high school, maybe it was the only affordable date option in college. These places have been the backdrop for countless moments in our lives. The restaurant chains know this, and they use it. Notice how rarely fast food places completely rebrand? They might update their logos, but the core visual identity stays the same. Those golden arches have looked basically the same since the 1960s. That's because they want to trigger those childhood memories every time you see them. Look at these logos through the years. They evolve slightly, but always maintain enough of the original to keep that nostalgia connection strong. It's like how the smell of Play-Doh instantly takes you back to kindergarten. These brands have embedded themselves into our collective memory. And let's be real, comfort food is called that for a reason. When life gets stressful, we don't usually crave a kale salad. We want the foods that made us feel safe and happy as kids. For many Americans, that's a Happy Meal, or a Whopper, or a Taco Bell Crunch Wrap. This emotional connection is so strong that fast food chains actually saw sales increase during the 2008 recession and again during the pandemic. When the world feels uncertain, we reach for the familiar. And nothing in American food culture is more familiar than fast food. So we've got this perfect storm-convenient food that's artificially cheap, scientifically designed to be addictive, and emotionally connected to our happiest memories. No wonder we're obsessed. But the obsession goes beyond just eating the food. Fast food has become deeply embedded in our pop culture and national identity. Think about it. The Big Mac is more recognizable worldwide than most American politicians. McDonald's golden arches are more universally recognized than the Christian cross. These aren't just restaurants, they're cultural icons. Movies like The Founder and Super Size Me have been made about fast food. Rappers name-drop Popeyes and KFC in their lyrics. Fashion brands do collaborations with Taco Bell. Travis Scott's McDonald's meal caused actual supply shortages because so many people ordered it. Fast food characters like Ronald McDonald and the Burger King are as recognizable to American kids as Disney characters. The Wendy's Twitter account has over 3.5 million followers just because they're savage at roasting people. These brands aren't just selling food, they're selling an entire cultural experience. And it's not just America anymore. As we've exported fast food around the world, we've literally shaped global food culture. There are McDonald's in 118 countries now. In some parts of Asia, eating American fast food is seen as a status symbol, like I'm modern and cosmopolitan enough to enjoy this American cuisine. but the relationship is complicated. The same Americans who hit the drive-thru twice a week will also say fast food is a problem. We love to hate it and hate to love it. It's like that toxic ex you keep going back to even though you know better. We all have that one fast food item we'd be embarrassed to admit how often we order. For me, it's those Burger King chicken fries. I know they're probably made from parts of the chicken I don't want to think about, but damn if I don't crave them at least once a week. So where does this obsession go from here? Are we stuck in this drive-thru line forever? The interesting thing is that fast food itself is evolving. Chains like Chipotle and Sweetgreen have created a new category called fast casual. Basically fast food that's slightly healthier and slightly more expensive. Traditional chains are adding plant-based options and trying to use better ingredients. But the core of what makes fast food so appealing, the convenience, affordability, and emotional connection, isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's getting stronger with better technology and more sophisticated marketing. Look, I'm not saying we should all swear off fast food forever, that's not realistic, and honestly, sometimes a late-night Taco Bell run is exactly what the soul needs. What I am saying is that understanding our relationship with fast food helps us make more conscious choices. Maybe we can appreciate the convenience while being aware of the trade-offs. Maybe we can enjoy the occasional nostalgic indulgence without making it a daily habit. Maybe we can demand better practices from these massive corporations that have so much influence over what America eats. Because ultimately, this obsession didn't happen by accident. It was engineered, marketed, and sold to us over decades. And recognizing that gives us back some power as consumers. So next time you're sitting in that drive-thru line, waiting for your order, maybe ask yourself, is this just about the food, or is there something deeper going on? Are you hungry for a burger, or are you hungry for convenience, for comfort, for a brief escape from a stressful day? No judgment either way, but in a culture where fast food is everywhere, sometimes the most rebellious thing you can do is to simply be aware of why you're craving those fries in the first place. Anyway, I'm definitely overthinking this, but that's what happens when you spend 45 minutes in a drive-thru line with nothing but your thoughts and the faint smell of French fries in the air. Let me know in the comments what your go-to fast food order is. I promise I won't psychoanalyze it too much.